Hi guys, Tech here, and I wanted to talk about Siege of Atlas. I wanted to talk about an update coming in the new build guides, and I wanted to talk about essentially what I'm looking at for release schedule. Before we get started, if you would please consider liking and subscribing. It does really help the channel grow. Also, very important, comment down below which supporter pack you want. If you want the Worm or the Ember, that way I can start working with GGG so we can get a giveaway pre-plan set up. So next week I can do one of those. Hopefully everything will be finalized by then. But the sooner I know which supporter packs y'all want, the sooner I can get everything going. As far as Siege of the Atlas is concerned, it looks very promising, lots of good changes. I will try to periodically, as much as I can, get content out. Basically, what I'm waiting on right now before I start releasing build guides and those kind of videos is for POB to be updated. I do have everything essentially ready to go, so once it is updated, I can fix the trees and upload. I will also be adding in forum posts for the build guides this time around for my hybrid character, which I basically have already decided because of buffs is going to be Bladefall Blade Blast. And I already have basically everything set up for it. The other one that I will do will be the Bosser, which I haven't fully decided on yet. I'm pretty much between Absolution and EA Ballistas. I think EA Ballistas will be the meta build coming into this league. So if you want to play the meta build, play EA Ballistas. I will kind of forewarn you, EA Ballistas on the leveling experience side of things will be slightly worse, kind of like Bladefall Blade Blast. Like it's kind of not the greatest until you get like all your library rewards. Bladefall Blade Blast isn't. Same thing with EA Ballistas, because you're basically playing a witch that's an archer. You don't like your smoothness of experience is going to be kind of rough at the start of the league, but it will get very progressively better once you have the required gems. Or you may need to do like a minor respec on the tree. Either or is perfectly viable. But just kind of a preface, if I do go EA Ballistas, the league start experience won't be the smoothest in the world, where Absolution will be a very smooth league start experience, but it won't have the highest in-game potential damage that EA Ballistas will have, so there's kind of a trade-off between those two. As you can probably tell, my notes section has gotten a lot more robust, and like I said, I'll also have forum posts to correspond with these as well, just to give a better, well-rounded presentation all the way throughout. On the build guides, I will not be playing Bladefall Blade Blast, at least at start. I might play that as a secondary or tertiary character, but I will not be league starting it. However, I'm perfectly comfortable helping somebody fix what may be wrong with Bladefall Blade Blast and kind of giving them pointers on what to do from my experience last league, and it just got buffed. Right, like Bladefall Blade Blast, essentially both of those gems at 20 are now what they were at 23 last league. So very significant damage increases. So that's kind of the game plan going forward. As far as the Siege of the Atlas stuff, Ignite DD is no longer viable. It got double nerfed, and I do not want to set anyone up for failure, so I will not be going that route. As far as a league starter is concerned, here is basically like my final bossing tier list, or like consideration list. Generic Crit Miner and RF Inquisitor are probably still the go-tos if you're planning on trying to race. If I was going to play Generic Crit Miner, I would probably go Icicle Mine, as it has pretty good shotgunning and some clear. And looking at the previews that we had, it looks like these bosses are going to have ads potentially in them. So you're going to want to have some level of clear with basically any build that you're playing. So I'm kind of leaning more towards Absolution at this current point in time, more than EA Ballistas, just because I feel like Absolution will be not only the smoother experience, but I think it will be smoother overall clearing than EA Ballistas, because EA Ballistas clear speed specifically comes from the number of totems. The downside to that is if there's multiple ads, the number of totems is killing the ads and not really focusing the boss, whereas with Absolution, you can stay focused on the boss and the ads can deal with the ads. So I think that's kind of why I'm leaning more towards Absolution at this present point in time. Also, RF Inquisitor is probably going to be very strong. If you want to play the low life version, you're probably better off going Trickster. Then Warchief Totem Champ is going to be if you want a very simple to play build that is going to be very capable of bossing. I would highly recommend Warchief Totem Champ if you're like a one-click person and you don't want multiple clicks. I would go towards Warchief Champion or RF Inquisitor, like those two. If you don't mind a more complicated playstyle, Icicle Miner, probably gonna be very, very good. If you don't care if the leveling experience is kind of bad, EA Ballistas will probably be the meta. Just so I'm being very clear, it will probably be the meta build. So gearing may be a little bit expensive. Absolution, most of the gear is fairly easy to craft yourself because of what you're looking for. So I don't foresee Absolution being like terribly expensive. It could be. And there's definitely high-end items that will be expensive if you're trying to min-max it. But as far as to get it to a place where it can kill bosses, I think you can basically do that on a 4-link, which is pretty low budget. If, you know, in my eyes, if you can do it on like a white 4-link, it's probably just fine. And it's not too much to worry about. And I have been playtesting Absolution in the background. As far as the hybrid builds, I'm between, well, I know I'm going to have Bladefall, Blade Blast up just because I already have a really in-depth path building for it. And I have a really robust like note section and everything, and I've already basically written a forum post. So the new notes here, kind of a preview on the tree side of things, is we do have multiple different in-game trees. The reason why is Martyr of Innocence and Annihilating Light are really, really solid options for Bladefall, Blade Blast Chieftain. And so I wanted to have a staff version and a dual wield version, so you can kind of play it however you want to, and you have trees that correspond between the two. I would probably suggest going the staff version for League start, because Martyr of Innocence is typically very, very cheap and is very, very good. Then if you can make Annihilating Light work, it's insane. Right, like it's insane damage, because triple damage is a lot. I am also going to have like little crafting sections on the notes on the builds. I'm probably only going to do 2 build guides this round for League launch, because I want them to be good quality build guides. And then as far as going into like in-depth crafting stuff, I may even make a video for like how to craft something specific. If there's something that's really specific that is going to absolutely make or break the build as far as how it feels, I'll make crafting guides for that. I do always recommend Craft of Exile as a really good resource where you can just kind of play around and experiment on your own. But yeah, so I think that's just really, really good. And I think that'll kind of just be something that'll help elevate the builds going forward. I might not do it this in depth for challenge leagues, but I definitely want to do it this in depth for league starters because I do want to put a good product out where hopefully I get most of the questions answered and I have solutions for common problems answered. Like I talk about things like mana, I talk about things like how to fix, you know, different things that you're gonna occur throughout leveling. So I think that's gonna be really good. So this will be out basically as soon as we get POB updated. I'll have the Blade Blast, I'll record the Blade Blast video, and I will push it out in the forum post for it. For whatever is going to be the bosser in the character I'm actually going to play. Once POB is out and once Blade Blast is done, I'm gonna basically full dive into that. So it'll probably be Monday-ish when that video will come out. I'm hoping to have the Blade Blast video this weekend. We'll see how quickly they can get POB updated. And we'll kind of go from there. As far as release schedule, I'm going to kind of just pump out as much content as I can. I do want to make a video once we get the details of the Atlas passes. I do want to put out the crafting version of that Atlas tree because that's most likely what I will be playing. I won't be playing the thing that's going to be the min-maxi best tree, but I will have a very crafting focused tree. So if that's something that you're interested in, I'll have a video about that. I will have more details on the giveaway as soon as I have a good size pool for what supporter pack you'll want. And I can start working on those details because I think I have to pay for it before I can say anything about it, like as far as like specifics. So if y'all can get that to me as quickly as possible, I would greatly appreciate it. That way I can do that giveaway. But I hope this is helpful, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're pumped for Archnemesis League and the Siege of the Atlas. I will catch you guys next time. Bye, Exiles.